Hello, welcome to another episode of our Facebook Live. And today we have a very interesting topic. So, Tom and I, we do this every single week. And today we wanted to bring in this topic to you. And the topic is, what do you do when you have money that you want to invest lying around and you really want to get into real estate? So, my name is Dr. Noah Liu, and I have here my good friend and partner, Tom Bibi Varghese, and I will pass the mic off to him.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. So excited to come to you Thursday night. As every Thursday, we do this and we try to educate you on what you can do to get started in real estate. My name is Tom Bibi Varghese. As Dr. Noah Lou said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started multiple businesses and now invest in real estate. Started with 6 units, now almost in about 1,200 units as a general partner, which includes industrial, storage, multifamily, etc. And we talk about this every Thursday on how you can also get started. And I am a partner and friend of Dr. Nolu. We have invested in multiple deals, and we are here to educate. So let's get it going today.
Let's get it going. So, one of the questions you always get asked, and Tom, from your experience and my experience, is I want to get started in real estate. How do I get started? And if I want to invest a few funds that I have saved, how do I get started? Like, what is the best way to get started? Let's talk about something about investors, right? The different kind of investors, and then we'll dive a little bit into the different investment classes in real estate. So let's start off with that: active versus passive. How does somebody get into it, and what is the best way for them to get into it?
Yeah, so when somebody says they have money sitting around and they want to invest, I'm pretty sure a lot of people in this group and who are listening, they can relate to that, and they don't know if they should invest in stocks, real estate, crypto. There's so many options out there, right? So today I spoke to somebody. He said he lost about $150,000 in crypto last year, and I was telling him, man, if it was real estate, at least you could go touch and feel the building. You can see the tenants. You can see the building and all that stuff, right? So
Mhm.
I know there are different avenues to investment, but here we are talking about real estate. Now, real estate, like Dr. Noah Lou was saying, there's two different ways to invest, right? So either you can be an active investor or you can be a passive investor. Keep in mind that there is no such thing as truly passive, but almost passive. So we are going to talk about active or passive. Active is you being involved in pretty much the day to day, finding the property, talking to the broker, submitting the LOI, managing the tenants, managing the rents, and managing the loan, all that stuff. Pretty much a lot of work, right? The passive is somebody else taking care of it. You get returns because you invested some money. So those are the two types, and we're going to talk about that today.
So, with those two types, do you have to be a real estate agent to be an investor?
Yeah, it's a great question,
That is
right?
one of the questions we get asked all the time, right?
Yeah, absolutely not. You don't need to be a real estate agent to be an investor. You don't even need to know one.
That's awesome. So, as far as passive is concerned, when we talk about passive investment, we are talking about, like, taking your investment funds, putting it into either syndication or either REIT or either, a JV deal, whatever it is, right? So the question then becomes is, how passive is it, and how do we control that asset? What would be your take on it, Tom?
So you're saying how passive is it, right? That's a great
Right, how
question.
passive is it? One.
Right. So what Noel is talking about here is there is different kinds of ways. So either you can partner with somebody and say, "Hey, I'm going to be the money guy. I've got $50,000 sitting around. I'm going to give you the money. You go find the property, do all the work, and give me a percentage of the return." Right. I don't want 10% or 5% because if that was the case, I could have put it in a CD and get the fixed rate. But I want some upside and at the same time cash flow. Now, everybody's got to understand this, that there is no such thing as a truly passive investment. If there is one, that means you're not paying attention to your money, and sooner or later, it could go up or go down. So in this case, it's almost passive. Like if you're in a joint venture, you have some partners, you have to have solid agreements in place. The partner is running the show.
Right.
and you'll be like, maybe I'll get on a quarterly or a monthly meeting to look at the numbers, see what's going on. That's a partnership. Then there is something called a syndication, where you're completely almost hands off. You just get in meetings, you get quarterly reports on how the property is doing, and you get cash flow as well as appreciation. And so those are the two types when it comes to real estate passive investments. Did I cover everything?
Yeah, and the one thing I want to add to your last one is when you're doing it a syndicate, when you're investing in a syndication, one needs to be a little bit vigilant about the numbers. Need to
Mhm.
be a little bit vigilant about the performance of the asset, right? Because at the end of the day, it's your money that's involved, plus many other investors that are involved in the syndication. So, like you always say, you got to know your jockey, before you know your horse. So it's always the person who's actually writing the deal that we need to invest with. So that is kind of passive, but still, I would say keep your eyes and like senses open. So like you said, it's not completely passive, but you still have to do some sort of work, right? And we touch base on syndications. We touch based on like running your own show. One of them is like if you just want to find a single family home, you just want to buy it and run the whole thing yourself. Basically, like getting the tenants, fixing the toilets, fixing the whatever that goes wrong, and then getting
Collecting the rent, evicting the tenants, all this stuff, becomes sort of like a full-time job. You may think it's not, but it would quickly suck up a lot of your time.
correct. And that's what a lot of people are thinking when they look at real estate. They're like, oh, I have to do everything myself. And then there is a third option that we talk about. It's called joint venture, which is JV deals, right? So JV deals are nothing more than just 4 or 5 buddies. They get together and they go buy an asset, they bring it down, put the down payment on it, and everybody has a role. So that also depends, like, what kind of a deal you're in, whether if it's passive or whether it's active, or it could be semi-passive. What's
Hmm.
your experience with JV, Tom?
Yeah, so JV, you're 100% right. It could be semi-passive. I would call it semi-passive because everybody has to have a role, and because you don't really want to give money to somebody and then forget about it, right? Because everybody's human. They may take advantage of it, or you just get neglected. When you don't pay attention, that thing doesn't grow. So if
Right.
you can never you can never measure anything that you don't pay attention to, right? So you want to actually take some role, even if it's like attending a meeting every 2 weeks and taking and keeping track of the finances, things like that. So even in JV, you can take a passive or like a semi-active role. It depends on your partnership agreement and how you trust your partners and stuff.
Right. And then also you got to know what's your strength and weaknesses, because a lot of
Yeah,
times state we need to know what are you good at. Like I'm not good with numbers. And Tom, I don't know about you, but you're probably not good with numbers either, right? So
yeah, yeah. I
right.
mean, I'm pretty sure you're good at it, Noel. It's not that you're not good at it. It's just that that's not where your strength is, and that's not where you want to spend the time, right?
Right.
Like you're probably really good at growing stuff, and the other investor relations. Those are your strengths. And you really don't want to sit in front of a spreadsheet all day and look at the
Right.
numbers, is
No.
what you're saying. Yeah, but some people love that, so that for them this is perfect, right? That is perfect.
100%, 100%. Because that's how the JV partners they will work, because you gotta have somebody who loves numbers, who loves spreadsheets, and then you got somebody who's like really, really good with, let's say, the contractors, or let's say asset management, or let's say, they're really good with paperwork and getting all the legalities done. So those are the kind of personalities you want to team up with.
Yep.
So excellent, man. So we spoke about three types, right? Number one is syndication, where there is a group of GP people, which is general partners, and those are the main guys who are actually looking
Yep.
for the deal, putting their names on the deal and putting their loan and whatnot, and basically they are carrying the loan and the note and everything else, all the risk. And then we have like a limited partners in the syndication, where all the limited partners are putting in the investment on into the deal. So that is one aspect, right? So we got like the 80-20 split that we call it, usually with syndications, where GP and LPs just split the profits.
You want to talk about that 80-20 split, what that is, so people understand?
So 80-20 split is very simple, where the GPs or the general partners are the main guys or the main actors of the deal. They actually go find the deal. They'll go broker the deal. They'll negotiate on the deal. They're the ones who's going to be putting in the hard earnest money on the deal, and they are the ones who's going to secure the money and the loan on the deal. And their job is to raise equity, or meaning like raise capital to put in as a down payment, provided with their own funds. So those are the main guys that who actually are going to be the actual players of the deal.
Yes.
And then and then they'll go out to the LPs, which is the limited partners. They'll go there and they'll try to find their funds and have that funds invest in that deal. So that's a syndication. So that is one type of investment as a passive investment we can get into. The other one that we touched base was a solo person buying single family homes, or maybe a duplex or a quadplex, and they're running the whole show, the whole gamut, right? From finding the tenants to fixing it to eviction to everything. And then the third type was a JV type that we just spoke about. And we just talked about like a group of buddies or partners. We all get together and everybody pitch in a little bit of money, and everybody has their own strong suit. Kind of like a syndication, but not a syndication. And everybody has a say and a right in it. So those are the three ways that we can actually invest in real estate.
Cool. Good. That was a great topic.
Yep. So with that being said, we have more that's going to be coming up. We are going to be continuing the same topic next week as well. And Tom, did you have any last minute thing that you want to add?
Also, we are looking at some, did you, well, I don't know if you should say that, but we are looking at a couple industrial industrial storage facilities. We'll talk about that probably next week, how beneficial they are, because in this market, one of the things that's got the lowest vacancy right now, and that's really in high demand, are industrial storage or industrial flex properties. It's going like hotcakes.
Right.
We've identified a couple. We are just waiting to finalize on that. So if anybody's interested, just reach out to us. So we'll have your name handy when it comes time.
Exactly. We still haven't decided the specifics, whether if it's going to be a JV or a syndication, but definitely if you're interested, I mean, this is something which is a really, really hot market for this asset class. So definitely look it up and let us know if you have any questions. So with that being said, we're going to land the plane here, Tom. What do you think?
Yep, let's go. All right.